I want to take a look at the new government in Edo State, analyzing the persons or the personalities that have been appointed by Senator Mondo Okpebholo, the governor of Edo State. You knew about the Commissioner for Justice. You also know about the SSG. You also know about, I think three or four
Chief
key
of Staff,
chief of staff and the rest
Commissioner
of them.
for
Yeah.
Health, Finance,
And of course, we have Dr.
Attorney
Emmanuel
General.
Padi Yamo, Executive Chairman of the State Universal Basic Education Board, Subeb Loki, and Eita Inegbenehi as Managing Director of State Waste Management Board. We have CP Friday Badin, retired State Corps Commander, Edo State Security Corps Governance. We have 6 others that are announced, and the people are thinking about it. And of course, we have Umar Musa Ikilo, the Secretary to State Government. Okay, we have the Press Secretary to the Government, Mr. Freddy Chua, and we have Mr. Stainless M.I. Jegede as also appointed Managing Director of Edo State Traffic Management Agency, EDSMA. We have Saloki Esiegbe, Managing Director of Edo State Public Building and Maintenance Agency, and Engineer Emmanuel Ehidiame Okpebholo as Honorable Commissioner of Finance designate. You see, and the appointment took effect that particular day that it was announced, which was on a Friday. And many Edo people are impressed about this. But many in the same political party are not happy about this. So we'll take a look at all this. Joining me in the studio, he is a mobilizer of youth, a member of the APC, and a political analyst and entrepreneur. Join me to welcome Samuel Ehigato, aka Aras. Welcome to TMI, Sunday's edition. It's been weeks since after the election and inauguration. You just choose to take a bow. Where have you been all this while,
Just want to
Samuel?
rest a little bit from the whole stress. Good morning, Wisin, and good morning, viewers.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you join us today. Okay, I still have Barrister Godwin Owaikena and of course Engineer Sosa Moigbe. Don't forget to mention all the way from New Jersey, USA, Honorable Igariba. Well, I want to start off with Honorable Igariba for some reasons. Now, what do you feel about the appointment made so far? Some are so happy about it, clapping and cheering the governor, saying he didn't waste time in trying to constitute his cabinet. He's just starting, has gotten some names, they've gone for affirmation from the House and all that. But some APC members, they're not happy about this selection. Some of them are opinion that this is like satisfying political godfathers, the perceived persons that have worked to make sure that our beloved governor Mondo Okpebholo emerged, that there may be some lacuna somewhere in this particular appointment. What do you feel about that?
Well, so far so good. The governor has, truly hit the ground running. There is a reason why, in most parliamentary system of government, when an election is conducted the same day, they are sworn in and business just starts. They don't have a transition period. But in our own presidential system of government, we have a bit of grace period after the election before swearing in. So the reason why there is that grace period is for you to have a transition process. The transition process can give you the opportunity to create a team like the APC, Edo State APC created, and of course the PDP and the own government also created to interface so that materials can be exchanged, and these materials are passed on to the incoming governor and his deputy for them to have a look, and then they start headhunting for individuals that will help them drive their policies, their agenda, and their manifesto. And if you will look at, like I said before, though to appear I was jumping the gun then, but it was out of excitement, and rightfully so. This is the first time in Nigeria's history, in all of this country, that a governor will make cabinet appointments on the first day of his inauguration and go ahead to appoint other commissioner designates in the first week in office and make critical appointments, which means he knows what he's doing, his interface with these individuals. Then, to even top it up, even up to the federal government, what you usually have, which is an anomaly, is that names of commissioners and or ministers are sent to the National Assembly or the State Assembly without any portfolio assigned. So those are the days where you see people go and make a joke of screening by asking would-be commissioners or ministers to start singing national anthems because they really do not know the ministry you are sending them to. But now you see the commissioner for justice and attorney general was designated for that position, which means the governor has had an interaction with him. He has desired that this man will help me drive my administration in this direction. And so when he's being grilled or drilled at the state assembly, specifically, they are asking him questions relating to the ministry that he's going to. They're not going to be asking him about transportation there or asking him about agriculture. They're going to talk about the Ministry of Justice and his duties as an attorney general. Ditto, the man that he has nominated as a commissioner for health. Everyone knows his background as Dr. Cyril Oshomole, eminently qualified. Eminently qualified, having schooled in Nigeria to become a medical doctor, came to the United States to Tulane University in Louisiana for, more a postdoctorate qualification. Of course, went to United Kingdom and is a practicing doctor. So, and he's even into community health. So he's a round peg in a round hole. Then my own friend that were in the same class at Edo College, who is made Commissioner of Finance designate. This is what you call a typical round peg in the round hole. He's been 25 years as a banker, uninterrupted. Studied engineering and has got an MBA. Besides that, that is a man that knows the economy of Edo State. Like if it's possible in local parlance, you say like the back of his hand. He knows this economy and he's well grounded and he will do an excellent job without a doubt. When I saw the appointment of someone like also Padi Iyamu, you just know the governor knows what he's doing. He's picking the right people. Look at the man that's going to head the state security court, the CP. The governor knows what he's doing. He's having one-on-one interactions with this individual, and they're able to convince him of their capacity to deliver on
All right.
his manifesto and promises to the Edo State people. And that's why they are being appointed into specific positions. So kudos to His Excellency, the governor of our great states.
I can see that you are so excited about this appointment. It's visible, and maybe I understand the reason. I will come back to you. Well, Comrade Samuel Eyigato, do you feel the same? When you take a look at this particular list, yes, more are yet to come, but some persons in the APC, they are saying, come on, why did they come to my area? Why did it come to my aid? After all, I believe that I can do better as XYZ.
Thank you very much, Wilson. Well, first and foremost, we'll give kudos to the newly elected governor and the newly sworn governor, under Okpebholo, His Excellency. He promised before during the campaign that the day he's sworn in, he's going to hit the ground running. To give a promise during the campaign and to hold to it is always a problem in Nigeria. Most times they speak a lot, this is what we're going to do, but once they get there, some feel confused, some need to wake up to get themselves into the saddle. But he has shown to us that before he became the governor, he has his own plan. He knows what he's going to do. And the people he was working with during the campaign, I believe he was able to assess them, understand their different capacities in that process. This makes it easier for him as he was sworn in. He started rolling out the appointments, and all the appointments so far so good, from my opinion, irrespective of which fraction that is there, because this is what always brings confusion, you know, that these fractions are these people, these fractions are these people. I don't want to mention names, but the man worked with everybody. He knew everybody he was working with. He wasn't speaking, but he was listening. He was understanding, and he knew what he wanted to do. So such people, you don't undermine their experience. You don't undermine their actions, because you don't know what's going to do next. So some people might be feeling, oh, maybe it's going towards one-sided appointment. No, I don't see it that way. The man is picking the people he believes that are capable, that will be able to drive his own agenda, that are going to make sure that he succeeds. And if you look at all the names, just as Honorable Harima has just explained, these are capable hands. These are people with integrity. These are people with antecedent. So, moving on, I believe I would advise every political leader in APC, the peace we are enjoying right now, the harmony we are enjoying right now, they should keep it up, embrace this man. If you have a complaint, meet him one-on-one, not to brew it into a crisis of fraction. That will not be good for the party. That will not be good for the government. That will deprive Edo people of the democratic impactations we are expecting from this government. And all pronouncements so far, I say kudos.
You say kudos?
Seriously kudos.
All right. I don't want to be a wet blanket, but I have to go straight. I want to hit the nail right now. Someone's saying, Barrister, that some of these appointments are majorly coming from the northern spur of Edo State. Now, that is a complaint of some APC members. What do you feel about this agitation? They are saying it's from one leader. Even due because I mentioned the name, but for now, let's keep it at that. From one leader.
I know where we're going.
So, what about you, Barrister?
You see, I'm not a politician.
Yes.
So far, from what has happened, the first in history of Nigeria, for the first time, a governor appointing people in the first week of his swearing in, this one in, so that the government can move. The last dispensation was about 2 months. PS were running. A man gave him time. Attorney General was appointed the same day. It's from the Edo South. Some person on the other side, are they not the same political parties? They are the same political party. Let them give this young man time. I'm not close to him. Most people he appointed, I don't really know them, apart from Ibadan. He was my classmate HSC.
So that's your guy.
Yeah, I know him. Was in charge of protecting the anti-vandalism federal agency. He was in charge. He's my friend. But then the man has antecedent. Let them give the man the chance. Issue of you don't pick from my group or my group. Everybody cannot be a commissioner.
Never.
Let him work. What people are looking for a result. It's not where the commissioner comes from. Can he deliver the good for the people? As far as I'm concerned, what the young man has done within the 7 days he entered the office is commendable. I think we should commend it.
All right. I will come back to you. Some are saying, it's like this thing is favoring one side in those states. I don't want to be a wet blanket, no, but I really have to ask questions emanating from the heart of those citizens, and this time around the hearts of some persons in the APC. They're raising eyebrows, saying, look, from all so far, take it or leave it, they are calculating, they are drawing their conclusion, their inference, statistically speaking, this north, only one south, how many central? I mean, don't you think there is trouble brewing somewhere in your party?
Well, I don't believe that Governor Monday Okpebholo will face crisis in his administration. I'm convinced that the leadership of the party and all stakeholders, they have the capacity to manage the situation. But let me start by saying that Governor Monday Okpebholo should be commended for what he has achieved so far. I had the privilege of meeting him just after the election. I worked in two committees. I worked in the media committee, and I also worked in the Christian campaign committee. Now, the Christian campaign committee paid him a visit after the victory. And one thing he requested from us was that pray for me so that I will do well for Edo State. All I could see in his eyes is a man passionate, to deliver the dividends of democracy to Edo people. All I could see in his eyes is a man desperate to bring development to Edo people. So I very much believe that he's conscious of that in his appointment. And that is exactly what he's playing at. From day one, let us analyze the people that he has been picking. For example, let's analyze them. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, for example, in person of Honorable Samson Osagi. Honorable Samson Osagi, you will recall, is a two-time House of Assembly member, laden with experience at the beginning of this democracy. You will also recall that Honorable Samson Osagi is also a two-time House of Representative member, if I'm not mistaken. He was chief whip at the time, minority whip or something. But he had a very principal position at the House of Reps at the time. And now he's been appointed the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice. I think that comes with a lot of experience, on that angle. Now the chief of staff.
No, but don't forget when our aspect is from South.
Yeah, he's from Edo South. He's from Edo South.
So really, I'm trying to put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's been balanced so far, in my own opinion. It's been so balanced so far. So far, so good. Now, I was talking of the chief of staff.
Yes.
In person of Gani Audu. Gani Audu has been a council chairman. I think he's been elected as of assembly member at the time. And he's been a deputy governor candidate. I remember he was the deputy to my principal, Pastor Osage, when he last ran. So he also comes with a lot of experience. And he's been a loyal party man. That is very, very important. So that you see the significance. If people are complaining, I don't know what they are complaining about. If maybe the appointment is coming from one person. But there must be something that they are looking at, in this individual that allowed them to be picked, If you also look at Cyril Oshomole, doctor that has been appointed as the commissioner for health, he's a medical doctor. Is he qualified? Yes. Is he morally right? Let's leave the morality out of it. But is he qualified? I believe he's qualified. And Padi Yamo has been appointed chairman, Subeb, and then Hilo. As also, Padi Yamo, for example, Dr. Padi Yamo is a successful businessman, a young man that is laden with passion and vision. They brought him to come and transform the educational sector, especially maybe the infrastructural aspect of it, that and all other things that Subeb is saddled with. So, if you look at it, wherever the appointment is coming from, let's even go to Engineer Ima Okpebholo. The commissioner, has it been cleared? I don't know if they are
designates.
Okay, the commissioner designate finance. Is coming with whole lot of financial experience. I've also met him one-on-one. I've met him inside the banking hall. You can see that. And mind you, look at the profile of all of these people. Some of them, in short, Ima Okpebholo was even a governorship aspirant. If you will recall.
Yeah. Now,
Dennis Idausa, the deputy governor, was also a governorship aspirant. You can see that there's this mechanism to manage everybody and carry everybody along. That is wisdom. And Senator Monday Okpebholo should be commended for the wisdom that he has displayed so far. Okay. It shows that Edo State is going to be in for an action-packed development.
It's just a movie. It's not a movie out in Edo State. Anyway, I'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Let's move straight down to New Jersey, where Honorable Ehiegariba is standing by. Some of the opinion that this appointment is coming from one man. They say it's from one man from up north. Is the one pushing this card, pushing the piece in the chessboard. How do you feel about the speculation? In fact, they are accusing or they are alleging that is Senator Adams Odliyo Shumale that is behind this appointment.
Now you've got me.
Hold on. I want us to play this table right now because I really have to mention it if possible. They are alleging, they are accusing that is the one in charge of pushing this piece. After all, you saw his son being given a commission of health. What do you have to say about this?
Well, I do not agree with that. First, for instance, I believe that if you have invested in your children and you have the opportunity to sponsor them into political offices, if you have invested in them, they are very well educated, you should by all means bring them and offer them to come and serve, their state, their country. And if you look at, the only challenge I will have is if you are bringing an unqualified child. And as Oshomole done well for Edo State people in the offices that he occupied excellently. Have there been other political families around the world where children are? As a matter of fact, a former president of the United States, George Bush, his father was not only a former vice president, he was the George Bush Sr. was former CIA director, former vice president, and former president. His son, George Bush, again, was governor of Texas and eventually became president of the United States. As a matter of fact, when George Bush was governor of Texas, his brother Jeb Bush was also governor of Florida. Their political family, look at the Kennedy family. One of them has been appointed as secretary now again under Donald Trump, which means equivalent of a Nigerian minister. There are families that play politics and all of them play their role. That is acceptable. But if you look at the quality of people that have been appointed, and you're not going to tell me that Comrade Adams Oshomole came to appoint Dr. Samson Osage Esquire as Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General from Wode in Edo South. Politics is not played like that. You're not going to tell me that Dr. Padi Yamu was appointed by Comrade Adams Oshomole. No. You're not going to tell me that Engineer Emmanuel Okpebholo, who is from the same local government as the governor, was nominated by Comrade Adams Oshomole. That is inaccurate. If you look at someone like Gani Audu, who is chief of staff today, there is a reason why he was brought. Gani Audu is a former two-time local government chairman, right, of Esako West, two-time local government chairman. So he knows about the local government system, which will be critical to the governor's agenda of development when the time comes. Then you also look at Gani Audu was also a member of the House of Assembly representing Esako West Constituency 1, 2. Then he was also executive director in the office of Governor Adams Oshomole. So he's been within the government circle to help the governor manage his staff and his political, reach. So he's brought people who are very well experienced. Look at the SSG. These are very sound intellectuals. And we must applaud the governor. And for those who have not gotten appointment, there are two things I must tell them. First, these are less than 10 appointments. And we are going to have a whole lot of appointments coming, and so people will still get appointment. And if peradventure you do not get any appointment, your primary duty is to support the political party APC, support the governor to succeed in office. There, at some point, there may be cabinet reshuffle like the president just did, and some people can still come on board. But hold your peace. It's too early in the day for anyone to be saying that there's lopsidedness.
I will come back to you, Honorable Higara, because I have to speak the mind of some persons. As the majority of the APC members asking these questions. Well, maybe one of these days, by God's grace, maybe by intervention, I'm going to meet His Excellency, of course, Senator Mondo Okpebholo, better still, Senator Adams Oshomole. I'm going to ask some questions. This is what I've been hearing. What do you have to say about that? Until then, let's do it here in the studio. Someone saying, Wilson, forget about this. Early birds eat the fattest worm. What about juicy appointment right now? After all, we bled, we walked, What is our reward? Honorable at the end of his analysis said, if it doesn't get to you, your responsibility is to support the party. Who will do that if they're not benefiting or if they're not going to benefit from the party that they worked so hard for?
Thank you very much, Wilson. You know, about political appointment, yes, some people might have aspirations. Some people have hope. Like I personally, I had somebody in mind I was expected to be the chief of staff, which I would have supported, and I believe he has the experience, he has everything. Good. He didn't play that way. It does not mean he has lost out. There are still commissioner coming up. There are SSA coming up. All these advisory bodies, they can still play their role. Boards are coming up soon. People are going to be the executive directors. People are going to be in the board to bring more ideas to the government. So if you don't get it right, get it now, as Honorable Yareba just said, you might get it later. And if you can get it in the sector of period, there are also ways the government carries people along. We know about that. In as much as you are a grand leader in the party, you are grounded in the party, you're not a betrayer to the party, always be loyal to the party. There are ways the party manage them. It might not be you. It could be your cousin. It might not be your cousin. It could be your neighbor. If your neighbor gets it too, the circle have gotten it. But if you look at the appointment so far, people are just crying wolf because only 2 people have come from Donut, which is the secretarial district of Honorable Adams Osomole. While 3 from Edo Central, other 2 from Edo South. It is well balanced.
Well balanced.
It is not you does not mean it is not balanced. And these same leaders, I believe they are all involved too. This man is not just picking out of his own circuit of mind thinking. He must have consulted. He must have had interactions. And there must be having recommendations as well that, yeah, this can be the right person. So making such decisions, the only thing that is surprising to everybody is that what is uncommon he's doing, that everything is just rolling out, and which he promised. And really we need it to, so that Edo State can move very fast up, you know. And if you look at those decisions in terms of suspensions he did, in the revenue aspect, maybe you're not even looking at that aspect too.
We'll come to that.
He did it purposely to take this crisis off the ground, not to distract his administration. Definitely he's suspended. He said he's going to fix it up. But there are many people now that will be crying over the, he has suspended the work, he has taken the work from the youth. No. He just wants to balance the system in his own best of wisdom. And he's doing it perfectly well. So I believe everybody should be patient. We should applaud him. We should support him in every way. Whether you are in opposition that is cooking the bridge or cooking the cake of sour taste, all should keep their mind. Because if you look at most of these social media publications that are always pointing at Oshomole, most of them are oppositions. It is to create crisis in APC. Then there are some certain people that also came from PDP to the legacy group. Good, they might be expected to also be carried along, which I'm quite sure, yeah, one way or the other, they will be carried along because they all worked hard too, as we all work hard to make it possible. So everybody should be patient.
They should be patient.
They should be patient.
Okay, on this discussion segment, we are taking a look at the new government in Edo State, analyzing Okpebholo's cabinet. Remember, what really started this squabble in Obaseki's administration is because many persons were not satisfied despite the effort put in to help him to become the governor of Edo State. Some are saying that this might just be what may replay itself in this administration because too many persons came together to help Governor Mondo Okpebholo become governor. He will not be able to satisfy everyone, and that might just be the beginning of all squabbles. What do you have to say about that, Barrister Godwin?
Thank you so much. I think Okpebholo is not good. It's not a governor of APC after he had been inaugurated. It's a governor of Edo State. In my sincere view, if he wants to move the state ahead, it's not necessarily all the APC people that should be there. People you think they have the talent to develop the state. Bring them into your government who have advise you without party affiliations, who have the ideas, like what Otto von Bismarck did in France, in Germany, 1870. Career open to talent. Does not matter if you are in my party or not. Can this man deliver without your favor? Well, I know you can carry his people along, but let him look for other people, not even in his party, who have the idea to move the state forward. Because now the state, Edo State, is not only for APC.
This is where some APC members will just hang you, say what? Beyond the party, yeah. You see, they are smiling already. What? We could see their reaction. You mean what? What a political party? How? Anyway, he said talent. People that can really fit into this position. You know where it hurts, you know where it scratches, or you know where it aches, where you've worked so hard. All of a sudden, it's like you have been sidelined. I mean, for those people, because we're about to mention our decent right now that have not been satisfied in terms of appointment. What advice do you have for them? Because they are itching, they are willing to be like, upon the sacrifices, this man is only looking at my end. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I want to, for those that may be itching to get an appointment, I wish to say that everybody should be patient. Beyond patience, let it also be stated that everybody cannot be in government. The only area I'm a little bit uncomfortable with, or I may be a little bit uncomfortable with, is when unbridled nepotism now creep in. President Olusegun Obasanjo, credit to him, when he was president, did well in bringing technocrats, people that were not inside of the political system. Okoje Iweala was a very good example, and she was able to bring in policies that help us to buy back our debt, and Nigeria was debt-free for a while under President Olusegun Obasanjo. He also brought in Adesina, the expert in agriculture, to help move the nation forward. That is commendable. However, in that era, if you went to Kwara State, Kwara was Sarakilized. Pardon me to use that phrase or word, as the case may be. Olushola Saraki, late, now deceased, was the strong man of Kwara politics. He placed his son as the governor, and later he wanted his own daughter to succeed his own son. His own son now said no. It now became a family fight. That was nepotism at its height. And I want to use this opportunity to give credit to former Governor Lucky Igbenedion and Chief Tony Anene. With all their faults, you didn't see them promoting their biological children into the political space. Kudos. I don't know. If you know, you can let us know. However, because there are other people, like I said, I was the first to say that Cyril Oshomole is very, very much qualified by his academic record, to be commissioner for health. But if you now look at the morality of it, considering that Comrade Adanso Oshomole was former governor, now incumbent senator, leader of the party, some persons quarreled when he brought in Shaibo because of the relationship that they were too closely related. You are just leaving, you are bringing another person who is more or less like your son, as deputy governor. Some persons frown at it. I think that is the only area that people may frown at. But in terms of qualification,
He has it.
Yes, give it to the people that have been appointed.
All right.
They are qualified, eminently qualified to hold such position. However, Edo State is bigger than a particular family. Is it also bigger than a particular political family? And that is where I want to join my voice to what Daddy said. That if there are people qualified for a particular job, even outside of the APC, they can be appointed.
But you reacted so to when the comment when he just made it, you were like, what? The shock on your face outside the party after we have some capable party members.
There are capable party members. That's what I'm saying, that if there are people that are well suited and tailored. Like I said, I mentioned Okojo in Wela that.
Okay, thank you. Well, Honorable Yegariba, you have the last line on this discussion. Advice to the people stay itchy, because really some are really itchy. Look, we're not feeling disappointment. After all, we sacrificed, we worked, and we're stopped from collecting revenue. Like, so happy that the boys, they are back. We come to the street, and the governor said, if you come out now, we'll be arrested. What do you have to say to this set of persons?
The major issue.
Well, the whole idea is, I would say to the members of the APC, all of us who have contributed towards the victory of the governor and deputy governor in one way or the other, we all must hold our peace. The most important reason for which we supported the governor was for him to deliver on the dividends of our party to the good people of Edo State, to bring about rapid infrastructural development. And in doing this, we must give him a free hand to be able to get all of those people, of course, with due consultation with our some of our leaders or most of our leaders when necessary. But I believe that he knows what he's doing. He's very focused, and he wants to bring about rapid development. He's got a deputy governor who is right there, very, very intellectually capable, who is also a father of development in the immediate constituency of Via Federal constituency, where he was a member of the House of Representatives. I believe with the two heads together, with the SSG Chief of Staff and the people they've assembled, people should just be patient. The government it's only just started. There are so many other appointments where qualified party members will be brought on board. And those who do not get a bite of it now, they should still remain patient, loyal to the party, and wish Edo State well and wish the governor well so that he can develop the state without distraction. That is my plea.
Thank you so much, Honorable. You can see our time is up, no deliberation of time. I don't know, I just can't go around you guys again. This topic is like a continuum. I might just extend an invitation to you when subsequent appointments are made, okay? I'll call you to analyze this particular issue. This goes to all of you. Well, if you've not been called upon to serve in this administration and you know that you work tirelessly, be patient. Be patient. For those of us that jumped into the street trying to collect revenue without authorization from the government of the day, that was a wrong move. You would have ended up putting this government in disrepute, because that phase, according to what we're seeing right now in Edo State, has come and gone. Allow the governor to restructure. Allow the governor to work. And of course, if you're a Edo citizen, you have to pray for the governor. Too many mouths to feed. My late dad said, when you have too many mouths to feed, no matter how deep you walk into the night, you cannot meet up. And of course, my late mom also said, look, if you are focused and persistent, you must surely get results irrespective of distractions. So, putting it together, you have to pray for the government of the days under immense pressure. You know what it is. I worked for you. You must appoint me. You must give me that market. I must go to that part to collect revenue. The pressure is much. Pray for the government so that you don't give into pressure and make mistakes. Because if Edo State is prospering, definitely you will prosper. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show. Honorable, he all the way from US, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Edo is for all of us. Let's watch, let's pray, let's put our hands together to make Edo greater than what it used to be. Bye for now.